so happy that we were able to get together and have our tea.
Yes, we've been talking about it for weeks and finally it's here.
Excited when we were meeting the other day, and
yes.
Peter heard our conversation.
Oh my gosh, just a quick shout out to GS Retrofit. You sent the right person for the right job, and he suggested that we do a collaboration on a video like this, and that's why we're here.
Yes, and thank you, Peter, for inspiring us.
Thanks, Peter.
We're grateful.
So, Yvette, what did you make for us?
I made a chocolate crepe and some fresh strawberries. It's one of my favorites. And I have a turmeric tea, a loose leaf tea that I like to prepare. And I think you're having...
this is the ginger chai.
Oh, ginger chai.
With strawberries?
It's such a wonderful treat to be able to have girl conversation over a nice soft meal.
And the wild thing is, when Yvette mentioned this to me, I couldn't resist, even though I just had breakfast, so.
Yes, and it's really interesting because energy plays a really important part. And yes, please come.
I couldn't wait. I told my husband, I'm going to see Yvette. Bye. He's like, okay, when you come back, we have work to do.
Yeah. It's the journeys of life that are so important. And
so
being
true.
open to them. And
that is so true. Sometimes I meet people and they don't want to change or they resist it, but when you meet someone who just embraces change and because it's inevitable, it just feels so refreshing, and Yvette is one of those people for me.
Oh, she's so kind. Well, Olive has exposed me to so much. Your fabulous book, first of all, that just embraces the essence of femininity. And I think a lot of women don't understand how it's okay. It's okay to be the soft woman without having this hard exterior. It's okay to be vulnerable.
Oh yes, but in the right environment, because we don't want to walk around being vulnerable to the whole world. But when you get into a safe place, it's okay to express that side of yourself. But when you're out, I'm not saying to put on a hard exterior either, but I'm just saying hold those secret things very close and dear, and don't just reveal it to everyone.
That's a very good point. What would you say for women who are transitioning, I guess, out of relationships where they felt like their femininity was looked upon as a weakness, a negative? So you have to go and do this, and the woman is like, oh, struggling between the two.
Well, first I would reconsider that relationship, and if the person is exiting it, then just reflect that man or partner probably did not appreciate, you know, the nature and the role that God created in a woman. And if he's desiring her to do something that she doesn't feel comfortable with or anything, he's not allowing her to be herself, to express herself, and to stay away from the own limits that she has created in her own life. And if that is prevalent, I would say consider that relationship, really weigh it, because the men that I have experienced, I'm not talking about just in dating, but just period in general, the masculine ones just want to stay in that masculine energy, and they appreciate a woman who supports that and wants to stay in her feminine energy. So if you are meeting someone who isn't quite like that, I would just really reflect, is that the right person for you? If you want to be this expressive woman who is looked upon as weak, I would really think about that, because being feminine, I know that a lot of people today say that the true definition of it is weak, but it's the wrong term. It's how we were created, to be soft and to be sweet and to do things slowly and smoothly, while men are here to do things more bluntly and coarsely and fast. That's just the nature that was given to him.
I agree. I found that just going through life, and I'm going through my transition of being power real estate broker to not only the exterior but the inside. And I carried that home to where everything was just this hardness. And you had mentioned living the femininity from the inside, and I thought that was really interesting, because we can have the exterior, we can have the softness, the dress, the flowers, but then the inside can still remain hard. How do we work on the inside?
Yes. Well, I believe, because I am a believer, that it starts with prayer, because if it doesn't come from inside of you naturally, then you need something externally to help you regenerate or reboost that inside of you. Yes, it was given to us in the garden. If we aren't like accustomed or normally operate in that way, we do need some assistance. And it's so funny you talk about, exiting relationships. How I got into deepening my femininity, I was exiting a relationship, and I told myself, I just want to be the best woman I could be, and that began my search. I didn't allow that person to define who I should be, because I remember sharing, things with this person, and they're like, well, what are you going to do about that? They kind of like questioned it and had some doubts about it. Just making a long story short, once I realized that the person was not for me, I shed all of those things, and I said, I have to discover who I am and what makes me joyful, happy, and as a girl said on YouTube the other day, spicy.
I love that, spicy. Yes.
So I think it starts from within you. You must go to the Lord, the one who created you, your creator who knows everything about you anyway, and ask, Lord, can you help me become this gentle and sweet spirit that 1 Peter 3:4 talks about, a quiet and gentle spirit. And it's not to take away the voice of a woman. I'm not talking about that, but I'm talking about just your natural operation is very gentle and quiet, that people notice when you walk in the room. I remember once I came in the room of a huge gathering with my aunt, and she went before me, and everyone was talking, having fun, enjoying themselves. But when we opened the door and she walked in, the room got quiet. They recognized her spirit, and I was right behind her, so I got to receive some of that too. But it went quiet, and we felt so nervous. We were unaccustomed to that we're like, what do we do? So we kind of just looked around for our seats, but everyone was watching us, and you could hear nothing.
Wow.
So
they felt her spirit.
Which is very feminine. I believe that once you go to your creator, your maker, and you ask for help, he's going to show you different things to do specifically for you to shed that hard exterior. But you must tell yourself that is no longer you. You must believe that you were created to be feminine, and you'll do everything you can, then within good limits, to become that person.
Oh, I love that you say that. You will do. I recently had this experience because I'm going through my transition.
Your metamorphosis.
My metamorphosis. I like that word. Yes. Floating in ballerina flats, which, by the way, ballerina flats make you walk a lot lighter.
Yes.
I find that I'm walking lighter. My dresses are flowing.
Yes.
I don't have to have the pumps
to
have the oozing of the femininity.
That's right.
So I brought that back to one of my dear friends who was an inspiration in me getting into real estate, and she says, Yvette, you have to take your real estate and fill it up to what you believe in far as your femininity.
Yes,
everything.
amen.
I'm really into flowers. I'm into colors.
Yes.
I'm into softness. She said, bring that into your real estate business. Yes. And she said, no one, they're going to remember you based on that, not what everyone else is doing. You don't have to have the stern, like my picture now is, my hands folded. And I'm thinking, I don't like, and it's
not you anymore.
And it didn't feel like me when I took it.
Yeah.
And I said, no, I want to have, all I can think of is colors and flowers.
That's so beautiful.
I don't know why. But yeah.
Because that's really you.
Yeah, and I'm going to embrace that.
That's good.
No matter what.
That's awesome. Yeah, do not let outside influences that you don't want to enter in your world to influence you.
Right, influence me to try to fit into this real estate world of, like they say, oh, you have to be hard and aggressive and negotiate hard. No, you don't.
No, I remember getting advice in my past that I had to become, a thick skin, and that's like impossible for me. I just don't have that.
Yeah.
But I think there's a lot of things you said that I want to touch upon that were really interesting, like the pumps. Okay, initially going back hundreds of years, pumps were worn by men. They were the first ones to wear them because it gave them height and it made them give them stature in the European elite. Yes, so they wore that, so it was a sign of royalty, power for men. And then it got shifted over the years where women wear it, but it wasn't originally created for women. And when women do wear pumps or heels, it may look sexy and stilettos and stuff, but that connotation is a power. And if you notice, if you're down a hall and you hear a woman with heels walking, everyone will always turn because that noise commands attention. But the feminine woman, she doesn't command attention. She just gets it because she's beautiful, But she, I love the ballerina flats because you can now be soft and gentle and float quietly where you go. And that has more attention than the stiletto heels or the pumps.
Yeah.
So I love that.
I felt that too.
Yes.
I felt as I was walking around this nice property.
Yes.
I felt myself just floating, and I often wondered, why are these ballerina flats selling so much? I mean, you see they're always sold out. And I'm thinking, I get it. I get it. I can still, because I felt I'm going to wear a dress, but I need to have some type of pump. And I couldn't find one.
That was a good thing.
That was a good thing. That was a good thing. And I said, it's the ballerina slipper or it's the soft sandal with the toes out.
Like we have on now.
Yeah. And now that the pandemic, we can come out of our house. Now I can have, a nice pedicure with some general polish. I'm not,
so nice.
I don't want anything bold.
Right,
just
me neither.
Soft. Just a soft, neutral color.
Oh, you are my girl, because I got rid of, like 2 years ago, I got rid of all my bold nail colors.
Okay.
And all that's left is like pinks and nudes. I recently bought a set. It has like a deep brown and a blue, but besides that, it's all pinks and nudes. I love it.
And I think our significant others, our husbands, our future boyfriends, I think they pay close attention to detail.
They might say, oh, just put whatever, wear whatever, but when you put on not whatever, They will appreciate it.
Yeah, and I remember a guy that I met and I dated and ended up marrying, and then not married, but he had said, simple elegance. He would always tell me that because I was always just, skirts that showed my leg, everything.
Right.
And he was like, just a nice dress,
Yes.
simple elegance, mid thigh.
Yes, I love that too.
Yes, or knee.
Yes,
and depending on where you're going, I still, your shorts.
Yeah.
But you don't have to. Oh, and it's so important that I've learned is to be okay with fitting into your clothes.
Yes.
Don't pay attention to the number. If you are a 6 and you can't get into a 6, go up to an 8 or a 10. No one's looking in your closet at the sizes, but you want your clothes to fit.
Well. Yes.
Fit well.
Yes.
And now I was told by this fashion stylist that now the clothes are sized down to the foreign, the Chinese body.
Because they have small fits, very small.
They are small fits, and
my gosh.
yes. So if you go into the store and you look for a small, it's now an extra small.
That is so good to know. I'm happy because once I ordered something from China and it was so small for me. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't fit this. Who could wear something like this? So I had to learn to resize, and good thing my sister works in fashion. She gives me tips there. And so I never had that problem again. But yeah.
And I think we're all beautiful.
Yes.
And all sizes.
Amen.
And
I agree.
We are, and once we embrace our beauty, that oozes out, and the men, whoever you are with, will be attracted to your, what I call self-love and self-care.
I totally agree with you, Yvette. I had a girlfriend in college. A lot of people told her to lose weight. They told her she would never get men. And my friend, she was like a man magnet. Men loved her. You know why? She was so confident, and she was beautiful. I mean, she was really pretty. But according to Americans' typical standards, she did not fit their weight. She was definitely not that, but she was extra confident. She was beautiful, and men love that. Men are attracted to women who, it's not necessarily, oh, I'm a strong, confident woman, but just a woman who has accepted herself, who is assured of herself. That's what men are attracted to. So I say, if you are accepting yourself, happy with yourself, men are going to be attracted to you. If you do want to lose weight, that's great, but accept yourself along the way. And if you do want to gain weight like I do, want to gain some more weight, I'm accepting myself along the way. Recently, I lost like maybe 8 pounds, and I looked at myself in the mirror, and I'm like, I barely had curves to begin with, and now I don't see them. And I'm like, Lord. But I am telling myself, I'm going to accept my body where I am now. And if I get to my desired weight again, I'll be happy there too. But I can't postpone my happiness. I can't postpone, I'll accept myself when, I have to do it now. So I decided, okay, right now, here, I'm going to do that.
I love that. That's so important that you said that, because I would always say, I'm going to lose 20 pounds. When I lose 20 pounds, then I'm going to get my dresses, my clothes. And then I watched a video on femininity, and the woman's like, you cannot do that. You have to live your life now. No one's in your closet looking at the price tag.
That is so true.
Looking at the sizes.
That's true. And if it looks good on you, they'll think that you either got it tailored or that you did spend a pretty penny.
Absolutely.
Good fitting clothes look very expensive no matter how much you spend on them.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point. And they did mention that that it's really, if you buy something, you can even go up a couple sizes and then go and have it tailored to fit your body.
I have done that before too. Yeah.
And didn't it feel so good? You felt like, you know how
this was made for me.
Right, it was made for me.
Like the orange dress I wore the other day
with
you guys in the restaurant. That was tailored.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was tailored.
And it looked really beautiful.
Thank you.
And the color was stunning.
Thank you. Yeah, and I got it at a thrift store.
Oh, speaking of thrift, we love thrift.
Oh my God.
We love thrift. You can find some of the vintage, some of the gently worn items, from shoes to clothes to furniture. And it's such an experience because you wonder, what is the history?
That is so true. And unfortunately, there's no one there to tell you that, but you could kind of guess.
Yeah. And a lot of items are really in good condition. I donate to the thrift store.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
A lot. They have a lot of my things. And I think you told me the other day you rebought.
I donate, I purchased, then I donated it back, and then I went back and bought it. I was like, wait a minute, I bought this sundress, a few weeks ago and took it back. So
that's funny. It just means you really enjoyed it and wanted it again.
Yeah, it's an experience. It's an experience.
So by the way, I just want to tell you guys, Yvette is a wonderful realtor. How we met was so divinely orchestrated. And if she didn't reach out to me, we would not be sitting at this table today. I'm so glad. She just had one question for me, a stranger at the time, and we became friends ever since. And as you know, I am moving, and Yvette is a huge, successful part of that move, and I praise God for her very often. And so if you're interested in a realtor that's going to give you extra care, that's going to go, you know how people say the extra mile, she goes thousands of miles, and she walks you through everything and has like answers for questions that you think, I don't know if she's going to know this one, but she's got the answer, and she's got tons of experience. So if you're interested in purchasing anything in California, please contact my friend Yvette. I will have her contact information in the description box. But and we didn't plan to do this. We didn't plan to promote each other. We were just like, let's take Peter's advice and just have a conversation about girliness and femininity. But I can't leave this video without telling you how wonderful she is, why we're sitting here, and promote her, because I'm a firm believer. I'm not really let's see, you know how people have feelings about lawyers, I never really had any kind of inclination toward real estate agents, because I just knew so many were trying to get in the business. But if I could say anything about Yvette in a small title, it would be an agent of agents.
Oh, I love you. That's special.
That's how I feel about you, and you have proven yourself. You've went beyond. So and that's why I want to promote your business and share it with anyone who's interested.
Thank you so much, Olive. It means so much, as I had mentioned when we had lunch the other day. And I said, I have to have clients like Olive and Joe. If not, they have to be, respect me and listen and just be just good from the inside. From the inside, that genuine kindness and love. And so I thank you. You and Joe have been such wonderful clients, and this has actually started a whole new friendship.
Yes.
Like, this is my friend.
Yes, this is like one of my inner circle close friends, and I have very few of those, and she is definitely one of them.
Oh, I love you. Thank
I love
you.
You too, sweetie.
So thank you guys. If you have any questions for us, we will definitely be doing, this is our first video together, and it's unscripted, it's unplanned. We were just going to come and have a little bit of lunch today. We'll do more, and let us know what you would like for us to talk about on the lines of femininity and business. And
that would be great. And if you want, like, maybe a shopping spree where she goes out to her thrift shops and I go out to another, because just temporarily we're going to be in different areas, but hopefully we'll get back together soon.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.